Hello everyone, I am so glad you are all joining me today as we learn how to overhead volley, which is also called setting. Before we get into that, let's warm up with some dynamic stretches. Dynamic stretches help to prepare the body for exercise, which is why we do them before the main activity. Before we begin, I want everyone to make sure they have a clear area for safety purposes because we are going to need some room to move around for the dynamic stretches. For today's lesson, I would recommend going outside if possible. However, if you are unable to and you need to stay inside, that is okay as well. Please just make sure you are in an area where you have space to safely move around. That is the most important part. The first dynamic stretch we will be doing is lunging with a twist. Before you begin, please watch me do this demonstration. I begin by stepping forward with my left leg and lunging with my right, making sure that my knee hovers right above the ground without touching it. I then twist at my hips like this. I now bring both my feet back together and repeat with my left leg. Now, please do this with me for about 30 seconds. Next, we will be bringing our knee up to our chest. You simply lift one knee up to your chest and hold. You should feel a stretch through here. Then release and repeat with your other leg. Let's do this together for about 30 seconds. The last dynamic stretch we will be doing is straight leg kicks. For this stretch, you raise one arm out in front of you like this and kick your alternate leg to meet your arm, or at least as high as you can kick. Repeat with your other leg and arm. You should feel this stretch in your hamstrings, which is the muscle on the back of your legs. Let's do this for about 30 seconds. To wrap things up, we are going to lightly jog back and forth for about 30 seconds. Let's get started. All right, moving on to our main activity, we'll be learning how to overhead volley, which is also called setting. For this activity, I ask that you use the volleyball the school has very nicely provided for you so that we are able to do PE lessons like this virtually. If you have lost your volleyball or cannot access it for any reason, you can substitute the volleyball for any other ball around the same size. First, let's talk about hand placement when setting a volleyball. Does anyone know what shape you should make with your fingers when setting a volleyball? If you set a triangle shape, you would be correct. When setting a volleyball, you want to make a big triangle shape with your thumbs and pointer fingers above your forehead like I am doing now. Your elbows should be wide and bent like this, so that you are able to push the ball forward. Go ahead and raise your arms up and do as I am doing right now to practice the form for setting a volleyball.
To practice hand placement, I would like you to pick up your volleyball and find a sturdy wall. If your house is brick, this works very well. Or you can even use the trunk of a tree as a wall. Anything that works as a sturdy wall is great.
And place your hands on the volleyball as we just practiced a minute ago. You should look like this. Do this with me and I will talk you through what you should be doing to ensure proper form. Your fingers should be making a triangle shape on the volleyball, just as mine are. Your elbows should be bent like mine are as well. Remember, this is so that when you are actually setting the ball, you will be able to propel the ball forward to the target. Another important thing to mention is that just the tips of your fingers, where your fingerprint is located, should be coming into contact with the ball, not your entire hand, just your fingertips. Now that everyone should be holding the ball against the wall in proper form, we are going to practice wall setting. For wall setting, keep your fingers in the same place that they are contacting the ball right now, and back away from the wall a little bit like this. Now, lightly tap the ball against the wall with just the tips of your fingers like we talked about. This will help you practice where you should be contacting the ball while setting. If this feels easy to you, after practicing for a few minutes, you can step back from the wall a little farther to increase the difficulty. If it is hard, the closer you move to the wall, the easier it will be. Can you show me what wall setting looks like? Please pause the video and practice wall setting for at least 2 minutes or as long as you would like. Then unpause once you are comfortable with wall setting and we will move on to target setting. Welcome back. You should have just unpaused your video after practicing wall setting. Assuming that you have all practiced wall setting, we will now move on to target setting. When you are setting a volleyball, there is always a place you are aiming for so that another player can hit the ball. To practice setting the ball to a certain place, we will work on target setting. For this activity, I would like you to pick up your volleyball, toss it in the air to yourself, and set it to a target that is about 6 to 10 feet away from you. For your target, set up any household object that you would like to aim for. Or, if your parents or siblings are home and would like to help you, they can stand in as your target and catch the ball for you after you set it, if you would like to incorporate them. If not, aiming for an object of your choice like I will be doing is perfectly fine. Once again, please make sure that you have a clear and safe area for this activity and an object that will not break if hit with the volleyball. Something as simple as a pillow, a blanket, a water bottle, or even just a ball of socks, something that you can aim for, would all work great for a target. So after choosing a target and setting it 6 to 10 feet away from you, this is when you will toss the ball up to yourself and aim for your target to set the volleyball. Remember everything that we went over when practicing wall setting, from making a triangle shape with your fingers to where you should be contacting the ball on your fingertips, just the fingertips, not your whole hand, just your fingertips, to how your elbows should be bent to propel the ball to the target. Now we'll implement all of this into our target setting activity. Adding on to that, when setting at a target, you should make sure your feet and shoulders are facing the target because this will help you direct the ball where it needs to go. After setting the ball, you should finish with your hands pointing up to the sky. I will set the ball to my target a few times to demonstrate all of this in action. When thinking about volleyball, a lot of you may imagine playing on the beach since it is a common beach activity. After doing volleyball-related activities today, I figured, why not imagine we are on the beach? Before starting, as always, please make sure the area surrounding you is clear for safety reasons. For this activity, we are going to be staying in one place. So, for our cool down, I would like everyone to close their eyes and imagine that you are on the beach. Close your eyes. If you have never been to the beach, that is perfectly okay. Just imagine what the beach would be like. To control your breathing after getting your heart rate up with the volleyball activities, I want you to take slow, deep breaths. just like that. While doing this, think about the warm sand on your feet, the relaxing sound of the waves hitting the shore, and the sunlight shining down on you. Keep thinking about all the relaxing parts of the beach. Now, open your eyes and follow what you see me doing on the screen as we imagine that we are walking along the beach. I will set the ball to my target a few times to demonstrate all of this in action. Now, please pause this video and practice setting to your target for 5 minutes or longer if you would like to practice more. Then unpause the video and we will begin our cool down activity. We are going to march in place as if we were walking through really deep sand. Do this with me. The sand is really deep and heavy, so make sure you are picking up your feet. Keep marching, you are all doing so great. Oh look, the waves are coming in closer. You'll have to jump over them. Here comes a big wave, so jump with me. Ready, jump. Now lots of little ones, so let's keep jumping. All right, the waves have passed, so we can go back to just marching through the deep sand. Now, we're almost to the edge of the beach. We need to make sure we get the sand off our feet before putting our shoes back on. Let's shake the sand off. Start with your right leg, raise it in front of you, and shake it so the sand comes off. Good job. I think we got almost all of it off. Now let's shake the sand off our left leg. It looks like we got all of it off, so it's time to leave the beach. Great job today, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed today's activities. Feel free to ask your family and friends to join you in practicing your overhead volleying skills that you learned from today's lesson. Please think about these 2 questions. How did you feel when you were able to successfully set to your target after practicing the correct form with wall setting? And what was your favorite part of today's lesson? Feel free to share your answers with family members, friends, or even email me to tell me what you thought. Keep up the great work and have a great rest of your day. Please let me know if you have any questions.